Hello everyone, welcome to another episode here on Oxyotl episode 9, turn 33 actually. So turn 33 and I'm getting already the progression that I wanted. I could have already gotten it a little bit earlier, you know. So I'm going to remove some of the chameleon skinks and give the dinos. So it's time to forgo those dinosaurs. And Oxyotl now looks great. That army works so cool. I'm gonna travel here because it's there's no cost, and mainly that's because I'm having issues with public order here. I recruited one lord and destroyed the income for one turn to at least be able to do this. And I just selected one. Oh, can I reach it? No, but I can reach it in force march, and suddenly control plus 20. That's exactly what we wanted. And because that place is also building a control building. If it wasn't, maybe I would leave it to rot. But because it's already building a control building, I'm like, yeah, come on, please. Plus 16. I think I can do this with the control rising now. And what I also want is to see if I can catch Malagor, because so far I haven't been able to catch him, and I really wanted to finish that threat on that location. So early on you're gonna fight a lot of beastmen with and monogods, and you can just try to ensure that you do take them out. This is the part actually, by the way, in campaign where when I was playing that I realized, oh, I need the armory. I need the army to recruit the other units. So I'm gonna go to grow to tier 4 really fast. This is something that really didn't happen in other campaigns, where usually I would go just tier 3, but in this campaign I think it's really worth it to go tier 4 as fast as possible in your initial province. So Kabutor is now going for that specific army that I wanted. And what else do we have? I think on the Awakening, it took me so long to destroy that building, and I should have. The Saros building. But yeah, minus 16. At this point I'm thinking maybe I can get the floating village there or something like that. But I also had to hunt down these raiders. Treasury is nice. I could go and attack the Clan Eshin. Upkeep minus 33%, that's amazing. The geometric web, it's fine. But no, I'm liking the idea of going over there and hunting down Eshin. I mean, he's not going to cause me any trouble. I can travel here first, defeat this army. Yeah. And then I can travel to Clan Eshin, because I'm planning to stay there for a while. So yeah. This is the first that I'm going to check. It's a real challenge, you know. I have more units than he has. But yeah, let's give it to the Chameleon Skink. Let's have a charge bonus. Well, on the Solar Bastillodon, no, because I'm planning, yeah, the Revivification Crystals, they're going to be more melee than I am, you know. And finally, this is something that I'm going to have to show it at one battle. I know that I didn't show in this or the next couple episodes. But what you do in the end of the battle is you just use heals, okay? Whenever you have heals, use heals on your army. And then use the Revivification Crystal to raise the dead, basically. To raise the fallen heroes, you know, the fallen units. Because that's how you want. You don't want the Revivification Crystal to waste the heal. You want it to be as maximized as possible into getting models in, you know. And for that, the unit needs to be completely healed, so that all of the heal from the Revivification Crystal ability, Revivification, oh god, goes towards getting new entities, you know. So I'm planning out that these guys have magical attacks. I'm going to plan to attack those Bloodletters and Blood Crushers, because they're a little bit more vulnerable to that. Not vulnerable, they have 30% resistance. They're demonic, so magical attacks of course do a lot better. And yeah, let's still send in my skinks, man. These guys with the magical attacks, they're going to do so much damage. The skull cannons are really aiming at my Trogodon, and I saw his health going down, and I thought, I can just heal once with the Revivification Crystal or twice and I'll be fine. So I wasn't worried about it. I planned it out, you know, okay, that's the target, so I'm gonna heal it up. I think if the Skull Cannons were against my infantry and attacking my infantry, it would be worse. See, like, that's 6 shots already, and I can just Revivification Crystal that guy. 1 unit of Bloodletter's gone, a second is about to go out as well. Now I'm gonna go back. And look at that, I mean, it's just enemy Bloodletters melting. Where have you seen that in any other army? Sure, now they're gonna fight me, but they are poisoned, they're already leaving, and suddenly I'm fighting smoke. The Chaos Warriors do much better, of course, because they do have shields. So an army full of shielded, like silver shielded units is terrifying to deal with as these guys, but of course you have the mobility to deal with that. Now this is something, of course, Blood Crushers will crush Chameleon Stalkers, which is why you need to have a supportive unit. So you send, they charge in, I send the Red Crested Skinks, and then I withdraw the Stalkers, and all that they were there for is to absorb that charge. And of course I have heals, so I don't have any anti-large. My anti-large is kind of like the Bastiladons here, like you see. And they're good to just punish the enemy for trying to breach those Bastiladons, you know, because they're massive tanks. Right here, the Blood Crushers are suffering a little bit because they tried to go after these Chameleon Stalkers. They did, but not as effectively as the other unit on the other side, you know. You know, I'm just healing up everything. He's sending in the Skull Cannon, but I mean, you can twist and turn and do your ability as much as you want. And this attack is really cool, but the death animation is so much better. It's a cool unit, I'll give you that. But I mean, I'm just taking it out really fast. Look at that. And now is the point where I just gather up all the units, bunch them together so that the Skink Oracle can, the Oracle can heal them up, and then I'll use the Revivification Crystal. And this is what it looks like. You know, you can see the numbers are slightly up because, of course, I did a lot of healing. And notice that you see like this 11. Oh, why do I have Revivification Crystals? Remember, it's to heal and to tank. You don't want them to kill anything. You really want them to tank for others. And I think it's shown there how effective that is. And it's also a terror bombing unit, so of course it helps in some circumstances with that. So I want the treasury there. There we go. New sanctums. I really need to get to some sanctums going as well. I don't mind not having too many because, of course, it's not like I'm gonna have money to build everywhere there. So let's get some magical reserves, of course, that always helps. This guy is yet to go into evasion and to Comet. I really want Comet of Caçadora. And the Chain Lightning, those are two powerful spells. So let's Decisive Victory this. More gold. 14k, that's enough. That's awesome. And I want to travel here. Of course, he has already traveled this turn, but that upkeep minus 33%. Finally, I'm going to get a lot of money. This is the reason why I think Oxyotl was so good and it's so underwhelmed in terms of campaign mechanics, because it fits the Lizardman playstyle so well. I can only imagine how much more powerful he's going to be if there's any Lizardman rework with the Geomantic Web and Blessed units. I can only imagine how well that will be. So I really want the vision. I want to take the opportunity that I have the gold to have that vision over some other territories. Maybe here in the Blood Swamps. Well, do I want that? I don't think I would want that. I think I'm going to change that later on. That's for sure. Yeah, because most of the vision that I would get is over, you know, already good territory, like territory from my friends, like other Lizardmen, so I don't feel like it's necessary. Sanctums. Okay, let's skip the turn, and I traveled to fight against Clan Eshin, and I just remembered I can ask someone to join their war. Yeah, let's get Miao Ying. Hi, Miao Ying. How much do you pay me? If she pays me enough, I get a trade agreement. Yeah, let's go for it. I don't care if Zhao Ming gives me more, it will be fine. But getting money and getting a trade agreement just to declare war on a guy that I'm gonna anyways, I mean, it's super cool. There we go. Here's Oxyotl. And yes, I know that I'm gonna have to do this for like episode 11 or 12 at least, because I'm advanced now. Let's fight the battle. And because I want to check the army as well against Skaven. So the secondary line, it's really a dodgy line. Then we have all the Bastiladons here. And for the main part, any dogs, any fast cavalry units, I want to take care of them with a Bastiladon Rev engines, because these guys, the Rev crystals, Rev engines. Did I say Rev engines? Oh god. I was fixing the car today, so yeah. So, Rev crystals, I want them to take care of the dogs. When I say take care, it's not take them out. It's just keep them busy while I take care of the other units, So like, that's how you do it. So yes, Skinks and Chameleon Skinks, I've said it before, they can do a lot of damage against these guys. And Skaven Slaves, definitely, they're immediately, the Clan Rats or Skaven Slaves, they're immediately routing. This guy thought it would be a good idea to come into my Chameleon Skinks. Yeah, that's not going to be a good idea, is it? I think he's already half health. Yeah, look at that! Talk about melting someone. That's that unit that is broken. So I almost hit this well. I still hit it enough. It caused the unit to rout, so that's good. And overall, yeah, it doesn't matter that they are attacking, downhill, really, because this army is nothing. It just had these Chaos spawn, the Zinj spawn, and I wanted to deal with those and watch them die as well. And this always feels like you have a very sturdy, very fast army, kind of like the Skaven, where you can pursue even other infantry units, and they are kind of self-sufficient. They don't need to always be near your, you don't need, like the dwarves, the cohesion effect, where they work better if they are all in a box. Lizardmen can expand and they still have that missile sort of focus and then with a heavy single entity. So a Lizardmen fight, sometimes I see the leadership and the sturdiness, and I think that it's good for the for playing like the dwarves, but they don't play like the dwarves. They play Lizardmen, they play really well. So a couple of good items. The Plaque of Dominion, research rate plus 10. Research rate is really important. So I'm thinking that if I can convert other items to Plaques of Dominion, I can quickly do what I was aiming for. Okay, that's going to be a very fast, decisive auto-resolve. Yeah, that's it. I think I'm going to build a Sanctum here and then check out the items and see how I can do those. So skills, you're level 20. That's good. You already got standard ground and everything. So red line is complete for this guy. And now I'm going to go ambush and then replenishment and upkeep reduction, which is perfect. That's always what you want in the blue line. I can get lightning strike, but I really don't. It's one of my limitations. I don't want to take a lightning strike. I always felt it was. It's a good idea, but poorly implemented. I kind of wanted that, but yeah, let's go with the reduced upkeep and casual replenishment. Yeah. I don't want this. I want that. There we go. That's cool. And I think that if I capture another place, yeah, maybe that Village of the Moon, maybe I can have a small foothold here and control the growth of Clan Eshin there. So overall, we all win, I'm predicting in the end a lot of having to take out many allied factions or friendlies, but that's okay. That's a part of it, I guess. So I'm feeling that I'm gonna have to build some units there for that guy. Let me spawn here. This is where I realized, hey, I need the armory for these guys. What was I thinking? So yeah, I could have been expanding here over to Zinj with some good armies. But later on, I'm going to show you what that would be a bad idea. Not without Oxyotl, trust me there. So yeah, I realized I have the upkeep here, and I have this army ability, that's fine. But what I'm missing is the armory, and I'm like, oh, come on, I wanted to recruit the units. But well, Plague of Dominion is great. I gave him the Accursed Armor, 245 armor on a Slant Priest, I mean... I don't care about the melee attack and the reduced speed, because that's not what he needs to be doing. He just needs to be surviving in case there's something else. And I got another Plaque of Dominion, so that's 20 research rate points. That's great. That's great. I don't want that Sword of the Hornet there. There we go. Yeah, just some basic common items for you. That's good. I can get... whenever you can, you do the Rite of Awakening. And all that I'm doing is just getting different Slan Mage Priestess. I got Life, Heavens, Shadows, and I'm gonna get a Death Priest. Just for the fun of it, of having, you know... Later on, I want to have possibilities of having any Slan Mage that I want, you know. So I do the Rite of Awakening as often as possible, of course. A single time that it's available, I do it, and it's fine. It's just cooldown, so no point not doing it, you know. Okay, upkeep, and that's it. Oxyotl, you're gonna go and conquer the Village of the Moon. This is where I should send the hero, by the way. I'm playing a little bit reckless here because I'm very confident. But you always send out a hero, always scout, always check out if there's any enemies, especially with Oxyotl. I cannot insist enough, please don't do as I am doing, because, you know, I can always... I know how to react to those situations and go like, oh, okay, I can do this. I can trust my own battle abilities to overcome difficulties, but... If you're playing this, please scout. Please take one of your heroes from your army and just go towards it. I think I'm not interested in those visions, so I'm going to leave him there and try to conquer a few more places if I can. That's good. I did recruit some of these skink cohorts. I think I'm going to start, you know, keep recruiting these skink cohorts. I have the money because of that upkeep cost reduction. And I think that's going to be the best alternative to avoid issues there, even if it's just rebellions. So yeah, let me just confirm that he's in the right location. He is, but I can only get Cold One Riders. I cannot get the Horned ones because it requires the Weapons Crafter. And this is where I realize, oh, come on, I still need that. And I start realizing, well, where is it? And I was like, what is it? Is it a different building? And then I realized I'm on the minor settlement. Yeah, so there we go. Weapons crafts, Horned Ones and Sacred Croxigors, but it does give you the local recruitment, and, you know, that's nice, I guess. So, I guess that's going to have to count for it. But it's going to take a while, so I thought, well, what can I recruit? And the thought was, okay, I can recruit a couple of Bastillodon engines for the other skink army. So here's the type of army that I want to have. That full blessed units almost, and with the Horned Ones. I can even replace the Horned Ones with blessed units as soon as possible. And then I'm going to have Lord Croak with the Red Crested Skink and the Plague Priest, Skink Oracle, planning when that happens with the abilities. But for now, yes, I think this is the sort of armies that we're going to go for. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye-bye.